Hello, hello, everybody. I am so excited to set up a new notebook planner and to bring you along for the process. I am tentatively calling this my life admin planner, but I know some of you had suggested a different name for this. So if you have a better suggestion for something that sounds more appropriate, please leave it in the comments and I will definitely be reading all of those. Thank you also for 63,000 subscribers. Yay! It just still feels like such a dream. And I am grateful for all of you that are here for this YouTube channel and for this journey. It just means a lot. So let's get started. I'm going to set up this planner and we're going to talk about what the purpose of it is. We're going to actually set it up. I'm going to decorate these pockets and we're just going to have some fun. So let's get to it. The purpose of a life admin planner for me, or notebook, it's kind of a hybrid, I guess, is that there are certain things that I don't currently track that I think would benefit my family. So some cleaning schedule stuff, especially for the big things, like when was the last time we cleaned the windows, or when was the last time we cleaned the gutters out, or, what's going on with the garden. So some of those kind of things, finances as well. So I'll walk you through some of these inserts, just some things of like, how much did we spend on certain things? I have, we have our personal budget, and then I also have sort of multiple businesses that I run. And so I do a really good job of keeping my business stuff, but I haven't always done a great job of budgeting and things like that for my personal side. So I think it'll be kind of fun and helpful to have a little bit more of an eye on that, because we really want to start saving more towards retirement and college funds and other things like that, and investments. And I think the more I can track it, the better it will be for all of us. Then like the cleaning things, also just sort of admin things like when was the last time we got the car serviced, or when was the last time, or when do we have our car registration is due, or taxes are due, or, just different things like that. And so I want to use this in conjunction with my husband's folders that he has. So he has a filing system where he keeps all the paperwork and things like that. And, we've got 2 kids. So we have like vaccinations and shots and stuff like that with Evie starting school, and just making sure that everything's up to date. And I find that every time it's like, oh, we need this vaccination record, I'm having to like search through the house, call the doctors. It becomes a whole thing. So I want to get more organized with the sort of family home admin stuff, I guess is the way I could say it. So life admin, home admin, family admin planner, family admin might sound better. Anyway, let's talk about the things that I'm going to be using, because that's the purpose of it. And then let's talk about the actual planner. So I have this planner cover. It's like an agenda cover from Cloth and Paper. And I have had this now for 3 or 4 years, I think. I'm not exactly sure when I got this. This is half letter size. So it is not quite A5, though you could probably put an A5 notebook in here. It's half letter. And it's their kind of quilted black leather version. And I love it. I have this also in the big, like the classic Happy Planner size. I love all the pockets here. And then you can basically create a disc bound planner or any other kind of notebook, and you can slide it into the back. And the planner that I used to have in here was one that I put together for a course that I was taking. And I am now using a different planner for that. So I've got these discs. I've got these dividers that kind of still have sticky stuff on them. I have top dividers and side dividers, and all of these dividers came from Cloth and Paper. They probably need to be cleaned out a little bit. So inside here, I do have some dashboards and other inserts and things that I might pull out and use. I also have a little box here of stuff that I've just been sort of gathering over the past week, knowing that I was going to set this planner up, of things that I made in Canva, and just sayings and mantras and different things like that have to do with money. Clear skies ahead was desired by me is destined for me, just like mindset things. And also kind of trying to get some things that I love, like little Coffee Monsters Co. I've got this Ollie clip, and then I have some other little paper clips and things that I like. Some of these little sticky notes. And I also have in here some expander discs from Happy Planner that are the pink metal expander discs. And I have a feeling, because I have so many inserts that I'm going to need these, although I do super love these Dragonfly ones from Inked United on Etsy. They do not have any that are expander discs, and I think I'm going to need the bigger planner because of my situation here. So I have that. I also just wanted to show you, this is kind of an in conjunction with and a little bit of a change in how I've been doing things. For the past year or so, probably a couple of years now, I have been just using a very small card case for my wallet. And that was partially because we were traveling around so much and I just needed something that was easy and small. But now I have gone back to this Kiki K wallet, and I set this up last night. So I just thought I would show you. It's like decorating pockets in planners is one of my favorite things. I just love it because you can put so much color and joy in it. It was so funny because I had a navy blue ribbon here, and Evie was like, I love it, except you need a pink ribbon. And when I put it in, I was like, now what do you think? She's like, it's perfect. So this has Evie's approval. This looks like a Hobonichi Weeks. It's a Hobonichi Weeks cover, but it's actually a Sterling Ink notebook. It's just a Sterling Ink notebook that's in the Hobonichi Weeks size. And it is the half size. So it's the 260 page version. She has these on her website. I will link them down below. And I have a bunch of Hobonichi kits here that I had purchased back when I was using a Hobonichi Weeks. Now I don't want the pressure or the structure of a Hobonichi Weeks, but I do want to be able to track different podcasts that I'm listening to, anything that's on the go. Like this is going to be my wallet, right? So I have my license and my credit cards and things like that here in the back. And then here I want to track my expenses as we're out. It's a notebook that I can pull out when we are having dinner together as a family. And it's just a catch-all kind of notebook. I'm not going to write in it every single day, but I will keep certain notes in here that will also sort of correspond with this, because if I'm out at the grocery store, I can write down really quickly what I spent, and then I can input it into here later. I don't fully have the system down yet, but I thought I would show you that. What I'm going to do now is I am going to set this planner up, and I'm going to switch over to some music and a voiceover. Okay, so first thing I'm doing is I'm taking that little box of goodies. So this is really just a matter of me going through my house or creating things in Canva, looking through my drawers and old planners and finding the things that I thought might kind of match the vibe and putting them into a box. And so I'm trying to get the color scheme and stuff like that. Now, I decided to use these Happy Planner expander discs, and I knew I needed a nice thick plastic cover. Sometimes I will buy the covers for these sort of custom disc bound planners or notebooks from Etsy, but this time I actually got this one from Cloth and Paper. It's just a notebook, and it wasn't very expensive, but I like the fact that it's clear, so then I can just add whatever I want into it. Then I also have this little 4-compartment, I don't know, like a little picture thing. I can't remember if I got that from Fancy Plans Co. or Cloth and Paper, but I printed out some pictures and put some page flags in there. And then you can see I also have not only a mix of inserts from Cloth and Paper, Fancy Plans Co. and ELLEMON Paper Co., but I also have a bunch of dashboards that I have printed from having literally like 4 years of the digital dash box from Planner Press. I don't feel like this subscription is as good anymore, so I can't necessarily recommend it now, but I'm so glad that I had it for several years because I have been able to use those same designs over and over. And so she had some half letter designs, or if I didn't download the half letter, I often would just print out the A5 slightly bigger and then cut it down to half letter. But what I'm doing now is I'm just putting in all those dividers. I bought some plastic tab dividers from Cloth and Paper that are January through December. So you'll see me use that. I'll do a flip through of everything. I know this is going fast, but I'll explain it all in a minute. So I have those January through December tabs. And then I also have a section in the first half of this new notebook that is going to be for top tabs. So I'll walk you through all of that. Basically, I am wanting to use this notebook to track habits, to track health, to track kids' health, and also anything to do with our home and budget, just kind of a catch-all life admin planner. I can't think of anything better to call it really. So hopefully you guys will help me out on that, or family binder. I don't know. But what I'm doing here is just putting in monthly inserts for each of the months of this year. And I'll walk you through it and explain kind of how I'm doing that and how I decided to break these up. I bought a financial wellness workbook from Fancy Plans Co. And so that I'm using in multiple places, and some of her financial inserts. Some of the more minimal ones are from Cloth and Paper. And you can see here, I'm trying to choose between the Fancy Plans Co. cleaning checklist or the weekly checklist and chores from Cloth and Paper. I decided to go with the Fancy Plans Co. one, which is At Home with Kita's brand. And I was trying to figure out exactly how I want to start tracking, like when was the last time we did a certain thing, like getting Andrew's haircut, getting the oil changed, or getting the registration on the car. And I probably will seek out some better inserts that can maybe, you would think with the number of inserts that I purchased that I would have everything I need. But as I'm setting it up, I started to realize that maybe there were a few things that I still will either just create myself in Canva, or that I will go ahead and purchase from other people. Like I didn't buy an exercise tracker. I didn't buy a like specific insert about how to track things that have happened with the cars, or, you know, different home type things. So it'll be a work in progress, and I'll be happy to share with you all how this ended up going with this particular setup as it continues to evolve. And sometimes I find that we can paralyze ourselves trying to make the planner perfect and make all the right decisions about the inserts. And sometimes it's really better to just go ahead, dive in, use what you have, purchase what you think is going to work, or print what you think is going to work, and then start using it and see how it works out. But didn't this turn out so cute? I love it. So let's do a quick flip through of this new planner. Okay, I love how this turned out, and I'm so happy for it. Look how chunky this is. Like it closes, but it is super chunky, and I think I'm going to be obsessed with it. I love it. Sometimes the prettier things are, or the more it feels true to you, the more likely you are to use it. So I've got, as always, my pockets glammed up here. Obviously, I always try to be more minimal. I always think like, oh, I'm going to use this beige and like it'll be super minimal Cloth and Paper inserts. And then I always make it colorful. It's just my thing. I'm gonna lean into it. I love color. So some of these I did print out. I just created them in Canva and printed them out. The rest of it is just things that I've collected. I didn't buy anything new for this like setup here. It's just all this. The discs I already had, the Ollie clip I already had. But like I said, I did buy this cover and the back. This was not very expensive. I will try to link all this stuff individually from Cloth and Paper. It's just a really thick plastic, because when I've tried to make my own covers, I don't think I have a strong enough laminator to make a really sturdy cover. So it's easier just to buy it. And then you'll see I have this saying, things are always working out for me. That is just a manifesting phrase to help counteract my anxiety. Just as a reminder that things always work out. It's going to be okay. And then I have a 2023 year to glance from Cloth and Paper that is a vellum sheet. And then we have the first of the like reprints of Digital Dashbox. I will link this subscription, but I'm not really gonna, like I said, recommend it right now because I feel like it just hasn't been as good the last 6 months or so. But they used to be amazing. I decided not to laminate this. And these are from like, I don't know, 2019, some of them, like different boxes. I can't even explain to you which ones were from which month, but I love them. And I decided not to laminate them because this is already so chunky that I didn't want to add any more bulk to it than I had to. So I didn't laminate that, but I've got that insert here that I have some of the Fancy Plans Co. page flags. Then I start in, I'm going to remove these, but these were a gift from a subscriber. So thank you again for sending these. If this was you, I didn't write down who sent these and it's been so many years. So if this was you who sent them, thank you again. Please remind me in the comments. I love them. I've used them in multiple planners, but I'm going to start out the first quarter of this planner is the 4 top tabs. All of these dividers that I'm using in this planner were purchased from Cloth and Paper. I have them still tabbed, like named or labeled with what I was using in my old planner when I used this, which was this one here. And so I'm going to change that out. I will pull these off. I will still leave this first one as vision, because this first section is really just going to be vision of what I want our family life to be. I so often make vision boards for my business, my career, the goals that I'm trying to hit. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to make vision section here with a vision board that's just specifically for our home and family. And I think that'll be really good. So I have this picture of myself from one of my best favorite years when I was most productive, felt the best. Got pregnant with my daughter, like all those good things. And I'm going to blur some of this next page, but it's funny because when I was pulling pages out of this planner, I realized I had this old vision board for my career in here, and it says Sarra Cannon YouTube channel to 8,000 subscribers and 50,000 for heart breathings. And at the time, that felt huge, like impossible levels of just really big. And now I'm at 63,000, almost 10,000 on this other channel. So it's just a little reminder there. I might leave this in actually, and then create a new vision board to put opposite, to just remember that as long as you don't give up and you keep trying, these goals that feel so far off will eventually be like, wow, I surpassed that years ago kind of feeling. So it's pretty cool. So I have a little vision section. Then I have some of these little vellum inserts that are sort of like saying like vision board or whatever. I had these custom made from ELLEMON Paper Co. So some of these are from her shop. She might be closed right now because she's had a lot of family issues this year. Then I just have a journal section, like a little notes section here about my vision, and I'll probably be adding in more here. Then this one says grounding, but I'm going to change this one to habits. And one of the things that I want to track in this one is my personal habits. So things like drinking water, making the bed. I've been tracking some of those in my nighttime journal, but so actually I probably won't track the same things that I'm tracking in my nighttime journal. This will be maybe more of like cleaning the house, watering the plants, those kind of things. But this is a habit insert from Cloth and Paper that's called the Art. I think she calls it the Arch habit. And so you've got 6 habits that you can track, and you can just put a dot in each one as you follow it throughout the month. So this 2-page spread is for the month, and you've got the 6 habits here and anything you want to explain about it. I have 6 of these in here for the last 6 months of the year. And then there are more that came with the pack that I'll add in later. Now, my plan is to take some of these extra discs that I have and take everything off of it. And then once I'm done with this 6 months, I'll keep these inserts in one of those like old planners, and then I'll put new inserts into this like active planner. So this section on habits is kind of where I also have, here's another Cloth and Paper insert, but I have this little section. This is a Cloth and Paper insert that basically, it looks like this. It just has date and then the days and then 4 boxes with lines. And I was thinking for now, this is how I'm going to just track like each of the cars, the lawnmower, like when was the last time we got the registration done? When was the last time we got the car washed, the oil change, that kind of thing. And then on these next ones, I'm just going to brainstorm with George. What are the other things that we need to keep track of? Like when was the last time we had doctor's appointments, eye doctor appointment, got Andrew's haircut, just all those kind of things. If you know of good inserts to track, like when was the last time you did things, please let me know. Send me a link. But for now, I'm just going to track them on here, and I'll keep adding to that as necessary. It'll just be a quick reference. So that's why I put a little pink tab on it, more digital Dashbox printables. This next little section here used to say signs, but I'm going to be changing this to health. So I have this ELLEMON Paper Co. one that says the light only truly shines through people who have been broken, which means a lot to me because there are definitely times in my life where I was completely broken. And I'm trying to remember that healing is a process, and I'm no longer that person, and to let my light shine and to not be afraid of it. So I love that insert. I also have some Post-it notes on the back. Another thing I failed to buy that I didn't realize that I would need until I started setting it up was an exercise tracker. So again, if you know of good half-letter inserts for this, I could also probably make it in Canva. But for now, I have these list trackers from Fancy Plans. And I was just thinking, I'll just write down every time I get on the treadmill. So with PCOS, I've talked about it so much on this channel. The best exercise you can do is walking and slow weighted workouts, not heavy cardio or that kind of thing. Like the most recent research shows that it's those slow weights and walking that's going to be best for you hormonally if you have PCOS. So I'm trying to follow the sisterhood, which is Talia, I can't remember her last name, and her husband have this membership for PCOS. I'll link it down below. So I'm trying to follow their workout. So I want to track it as I do it. And I think you can track it in their app too, but I always prefer paper. So I'm just going to track it on these lists, and then maybe I'll add a better exercise tracker later. Also from Fancy Plans Co., a 30-day weight tracker, which is also part of my PCOS journey. And then I just have these notes pages from her as well. Now, I will say when you order from her, you can order different sizes of the pages. So you could get A5 also, and they don't have to be disc bound. They can be rings, I think. And you don't have to get the dots. I just like the polka dots. So I've just got notes pages here for journaling about how I'm feeling. And I'm just going to write a couple of lines here and there about that. And I might actually pull things from different spots. I'll show you in a minute. So the final top tab used to say scripting. I'm going to change that to finances. So I have this little journal card from Simply Gilded that I just punched with my arc punch. I'm going to write on one of the sticky notes that I have my basic financial goals for savings for this year, retirement for this year, investments, and that kind of thing. I'm just going to list them on the back here. And then as I meet those goals, I'm going to take it off, but that'll be a good reminder. But one of the things I was showing in the setup that I purchased is this financial wellness workbook from Fancy Plans. And it has some stuff I'm not sure I'll use. So this will be another thing that's just experimental. How much of this will I use? How much of it will I begin to use because of these inserts? I'm not sure. It's a big workbook, but I've split it into different pieces. So it starts with the budget categories, your financial goals that you can put your measurable results and actions on, a yearly overview of things like your income, expenses, savings, and debt, which I know I'll use that, a subscription tracker, which I know I'll use because right now I actually need to do a complete audit of my subscriptions. That's something George and I are making a date to do because there's subscriptions. It's like you sign up for them and then they just auto debit and it's easy to overspend. So we're going to do a little audit on that. Income tracker, expense tracker, debt reduction. So we have a debt snowball tracker. I've never used the debt snowball. That's a Dave Ramsey thing. And there are multiple Dave Ramsey things in this thing, but maybe I'll start using it. Who knows? So we'll see if I use that page. Budget challenges. So if you wanted to do like a no spend is something I've been considering doing, or, saving a certain amount of money by the end of the year, or a vacation challenge. Then you've got savings trackers here, and you have wish list. Now this only came with one page, and I bought a wish list insert additional because I knew that I would be using those pages more often than some of the others. So this will be great for like, I want to set up a wish list page for Evie, for Andrew, for George, and then I need to probably add, Evie's won't be that long. So I'll just add various other things into this, but I think it'll be good to have a wish list for gift ideas, things that we're saving for, instead of that immediate gratification kind of thing that I think we get trapped in. Donation tracker. So I track all my donations from my business, but I want to do a better job of tracking our personal donations ahead of time because I usually just do it at tax time. I just go back and look at everything. So now I can do it as I go. And again, her financial workbook only had one page and I added an extra to it. I have this gratitude dashboard here from Cloth and Paper. And then I have this line a day from ELLEMON Paper Co. And I wanted to use this for gratitude. And I have repurchased this so many times and I never end up using it. Now I'm wondering if it wouldn't be better to move this over to the health section so I could just leave a little health thing here of like, how's my mood every day? Instead of trying to track gratitude, maybe mood. So I might do that. I have a floating tab here and there's just one line for the next 6 months of the year. Another little insert, and then some lists. So you guys know if you've been around for a while that I love to do gist lists, and this is perfect for gist lists. So I could write down the date and then all the things I'm trying to get done this day. So I have a bunch of these. This is from Fancy Plans Co. I have bucket list inserts. So these I think would be fun for like all the activities we wanted to do this summer, all the activities we want to do this fall, all the activities we want to do this Christmas, and just keep track of that in there. Then we have the second portion of the planner. So it's kind of like the first half and the second half. The second half of the planner is those dividers that go for the rest of the year. So January through December. I did purchase a couple of inserts from Cloth and Paper that have monthly spread or it had the entire year inserts. And some of them came with vertical weeklies and some of them just were monthlies. And I bought both sections or both inserts, even though they're kind of redundant, because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use and because they were so highly on sale. They were like more than 50% off. And then I had a gift card from points from the subscription box. So I decided to just go ahead and get them both and we'll just kind of see how it goes. But you can kind of see, so here's August, for example. You have the goals, intentions, bills, a little checklist for the month. You have the monthly spread, and then you have weekly spreads that go Monday through Sunday. It's vertical. She does have horizontal as well. And basically, you could just make checklists out of this. You could do your weekly planning. There's so many options. And I was thinking or trying to decide, like, did I want the weeklies so that I could track the things that I'm doing, like watering the plants and all that stuff on a weekly spread? But in the end, I started setting it up that way, and then I changed it to just the monthly spreads and not the weekly, because I think as I'm building a habit of using this planner, I don't want to put the stress of myself of like, I have to fill it out every single day. So took away some of that other stuff. So it's the same setup, monthly spread, monthly, main monthly spread. And this one I got in Sunday Start, which I do actually prefer the Sunday Start. So I think the Sunday Start was sold out of the other one. So I've got this, and then I have that same setup of just that monthly insert for every month that has already passed by so far. So I wanted to put those in so that I can take an afternoon and sort of backdate some of the things that we've done so far this year. Big expenses, vacations, going to the doctor's office, going to the dentist, to the eye doctor, like all of those things, just putting those in here and just going into my Google Calendar and kind of adding them over so that I can have it on paper and see how that feels. So these won't be used. I won't fill out my goals and everything in here. I'm just going to go back and backdate those big events like family type stuff. Starting in July, however, I have these, I've kind of decorated a little bit more. I have the Planner Press Digital Dash printables, and then I have that same monthly spread. So that is for the whole year. And then I have also added in cleaning checklists. Now I did purchase these types of cleaning and chores checklists from Cloth and Paper as well, or I don't think I actually purchased them. I think they came in a subscription box and I still had them. So this is daily chores and you can check them off. And then it has Monday through Sunday with a notes section. And this is a week per page. So I thought about adding those in here. But in the end, I decided for now to go with this Fancy Plans cleaning checklist because it's not dated. So I could just put, whatever days I want to use it. I don't have to do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every single day. It can just be Monday, Friday, Saturday, and then again on Wednesday. Like I don't have to stick to the dates. So I like that. I don't know that I'll use this mini checklist throughout the month. I might just use one page, but they're in here if I need them. There's also a declutter section, supplies, and then a notes section. So I figure I can put the bathrooms on here. I can put checklists, or I can do it by day. I could say Monday, I want to get these things done on my cleaning. And then eventually the goal would be once I'm ready to use this planner and I've gotten into a habit of it, then I can go into more of a dated type spread. Then the rest of the month is another piece of that financial wellness workbook from Fancy Plans Co. So I have the yearly stuff in the front in this finance tab, and then the monthly stuff I have added to each month. So you've got a monthly budget tracker, and some of this stuff I don't think I'll fill out. Like I don't really see a point in filling out fixed expenses every single month because they're fixed, right? So I don't know that I'll use each piece of this, but I will use some of it. There's another monthly spread that's undated. I will probably use this to put daily spending. So just a total of how much I spent per day, just to get that eagle-eye view of how much we're spending on a weekly, monthly basis. Then income breakdown, I have like 8, 9. Oh my gosh. I guess if you count each individual vendor, like Apple, Kobo, etc., I have like 12 sources of income. So I don't even know that I'll have enough space here to track them all. Bills, Cash envelopes and sinking funds, I don't know if I'll use that. I've never really used that type of stuff before, so I might not. I'll kind of look into it and see how it feels. So then you have that same spread for every week of the month, and then you have an expense tracker at the end. So then I have set up the entire quarter with all of those same things. So I've got July, August, and I have September are all set up. When I moved to October, however, I just am back to only the monthly spreads just because this planner is so huge. And then in the back, I have a password tracker and then a final little dashboard. So that is the full setup of this planner. I do have these super cute dangle charms. These come from Charming Planner Shop. I will link her stuff down below. I bought so many of her charms. I have this one is like a little Disney Instax camera, and then this little flower in here. I love how this turned out. I think it's all so cute. I think it's going to be very useful. And like I said, I'll probably switch out some of the inserts, but sometimes I feel like I do, like I was mentioning, hold myself back with this expectation of perfection. Like if I don't know exactly what's going to be best, then I can't start yet. And I can be in analysis paralysis for a very long time. And so what I've decided is I'm just going to start taking action and stop trying to overthink things. And I can always change it, right? That's the beauty of your disc-bound system, is you can always make changes. So I am going to potentially be on the lookout for last time I did something insert, exercise insert, and we'll see kind of what else, maybe like a kid's doctor visit insert or something like that, like a health and wellness. I don't know. Let me know if you have any great suggestions or things that you use, or if you have any other YouTubers that have set up similar sort of life planners. I think someone said The Organized Money has some. I'm sure At Home with Keita does. So if you have any other suggestions of YouTubers I can check out for better ideas, let me know. But that is my setup. This goes hand in hand with my 6 months for life, which is basically, I have HB90 system, which is my goals for 90 days at a time. And I always have one goal for my writing career, one goal for my heart breathing's career, and then a third goal that's called 6 months for life. And that one, of course, spans 2 quarters. And the idea behind it is really to dedicate or commit myself to creating better habits or things that will move me forward in my personal life, like my personal journey, spiritual habits, just anything that would make me feel better, my energy, my health, that kind of thing. That really, if you focus on it for 6 months, it will have a ripple effect through the rest of your life. So 6 months of establishing this habit or committing yourself to changing your health or getting your house organized or whatever, like what could you focus on for 6 months that would have a ripple effect for the rest of your life? And I have done this multiple 6 months, always focusing on a different aspect of myself and my life. And sometimes it's about a quantum leap, like a big serious change, like moving to a new state or something else. And sometimes it's about simple daily habits like exercise, drinking water, that kind of thing. But anyway, that is my third goal. And I am going to be setting up that plan on my Kanban board, as well as I'll be talking about that plan on my Sarra Cannon channel tomorrow. So if you didn't know, I have a second YouTube channel. It's just at Sarra Cannon, and it is more for fans of my books, but we do a Friday coffee chat every Friday at 4 p.m. So I'll be traveling a lot in the month of July, and I didn't want to stop our sort of coffee chat vibe. So there will be a premiere going up on YouTube tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, and there will be live chat accompanying it for everybody who wants to come join. And I'll be talking about how I set that goal for 6 months for life. That channel might not be aligned for everyone who's here, which is why I have a second channel, because we do talk about like more spiritual things and health things and mindset things and books and, other things like that. But if you are interested, come join us on that channel. I will link it down below, and we will be around for coffee chat tomorrow, talking about 6 months for life. And then next week's will be a Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to add those in to the comments and I will check them out later. But next week here on Heart Breathings, I will have hopefully my quarterly reset, my whole Kanban board talking about my goals. But for now, we have this gorgeous life admin planner. I'm going to add these super cute paper clips back into it, and it's just going to be lovely black and pink. I love it. So chunky. It's so cute. If you are new here, I would love for you to subscribe. We talk about planners and writing and productivity and really just following your joy. And I hope that you will join us here as a Hardy. And I will see you all in my next video. All my love. Bye for now.